Hi everybody, my name is Maya and I really enjoy talking about books and reading books. I thought since it's December now and the year's about to end, it would be nice to sort of look back at the year with the books that I really enjoyed reading, sort of like my favorite books of 2025. I thought I could start with the book that I'm reading right now. I'm definitely not done. I'm like, you can see, I've read this far, so maybe a fourth of the way through, which is, look at this cover, it's so gorgeous. It's called Wolkenschloss by Kerstin Gier, which is the most, I don't know, it's a really funny first book to sort of talk about. But look at this cover. I don't know if you can really see like the little gold details. It's like shimmering a bit. It's beautiful. I love this cover. And I heard Emmy talk about this book quite a few times here on YouTube. And I know Kerstin Gier because she's a German author and I'm German. So I know her from my childhood. I read all of her books, but I've never read this one. And then I saw this beautiful cover. I was with a friend in a bookstore and I was like, oh my God, I love this cover. And she got it for me for my birthday, which was really, really sweet. And I'm loving this. This is perfect. I specifically saved it for December and for like the pre-Christmas times. Wolkenschloss basically means like castle in the clouds. I think that's the English translation of the title as well. And we have our girl, Fanny Funke. She's doing an internship in this hotel in the Swiss Alps. She's 17. It reads a lot younger than this, but I don't have a problem with that at all because, as I said, she's sort of a childhood author for me. It's like the Christmas time, it's snowing, the hotel sort of feels like its own character as well. And it's really, I'm loving it. It's so cozy, it's really cute. So if you're ever feeling like you miss those books that you read when you were like 10 to 12 maybe, or maybe like 9 to 12, just those cozy, sort of like, not necessarily low stakes, but nothing feels too serious because it's just like, it's a children's book basically, or young adult, but young adult book. And this is perfect for December. It is so cozy. And I know there's an English translation because I've seen it around. But yeah, it's very cozy, so I can only recommend this enough. But I haven't finished it yet. But I've been reading it all day and I will continue to do so later because it's very cute. But now, like, onto the actual books that I really enjoyed this year and that I've already finished. These are not in any particular order. The first one is Prodigal Summer by Barbara Kingsolver. Yes, 1,000 times yes. I read this for my bachelor thesis because I did my thesis on ecofeminism basically. And it was so good. It was truly so good. We follow 3 storylines, I guess, 3 like intertwining storylines of an Appalachian, I don't know if that's the correct pronunciation, probably not, but Appalachian, I think, mountain farming community, like small farming, like very, very rural community, and it was so good. Like you can see, I mean, obviously I used this for my thesis, but I love this book. We follow 3 storylines. We follow Deanna, who's like a middle-aged woman, like forest ranger who lives in the woods, like on the mountain. It talks a lot about like the importance of solitude, but also the importance of human contact. And then we follow Loser, who is a very recently widowed woman from the city, who then inherits her late husband's farm. And she sort of brings this like outsider knowledge into the community. Her storyline is a lot about responsibility to the land, I don't know, getting to know the land, getting to know yourself through nature, and like engaging with the community through an engagement with nature. I don't know, so good. And then the last one is Garnet, who's like an old man, and he's sort of struggling with his age, his gendered expectations, I guess. And then he engages in a lot of conversations with his next door neighbor, Nanny, talks a lot about her with like the, I don't know, rights of nature and the natural world and rights of animals and plants and the land and everything. Read this book. It was so good. It was so good. Another book that I read for my thesis, Solar Storms by Linda Hogan. The book follows Angel, who comes back to the place that she was born. It's called Adam's Rib, which is like, I think, close to the border to Canada. Basically, we follow Angel coming back to the place of her ancestors and really being reintegrated into the community, into Indigenous knowledge, Indigenous ways of life, Indigenous engagement with nature. It's a lot about her female elder ancestors and the stories and the knowledge they tell her, and it was so good. You have dark themes in here, like dark. It talks a lot about intergenerational trauma, a lot about land rights, Indigenous rights. This is the third book I read for my thesis. This is just me talking about my thesis. It's called How Beautiful We Were by Imbolo Mbue. And basically we follow a small village in a small fictional village in a fictional country in Africa. So, and then, the village is called Kosawa, and right next to it, or very close to it, this huge international oil company, Paxton, extracts oil. And then we follow throughout one generation, basically, these people who try to fight against this company and against the government and against everything that, like, the structure that holds them in place and, like, I don't know, restricts them, like, of their agency. And we follow one girl specifically who's called Tula. We get a whole bunch of different perspectives. We get her uncles, her mothers, her brothers, her grandmas, a lot of different, like, kids. We get, like, a multi-vocal voice of the children just suffering, and I don't know, it was really heavy, really good. Like, again, talking about gender, race, class, extractivism. Okay, now we've got the thesis books covered, which is good because I feel like I could talk forever about these books. Next book that we have, Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. And I feel like everybody knows this book. I haven't watched the movie. I really want to. This was the second book that I read this year, so it's been a while. But basically it's about Kathy and her friends. And as they grow up, I really don't want to say a lot. Probably a lot of people know what this is about. But as they grow up in this, like, school setting, my Primrose Hill bookmark, so cute. Basically, as they grow up in this, like, school setting, after a while, they realize that something's not necessarily wrong, or rather the reader realizes something's different. Something's different, and that's all I can say, because if you know what's happening, it's not as good anymore. But it's basically, it talks about what makes us human, what makes us being able to love, what even is love. Is love a purely human emotion? I don't know. It's been a long time since I read it. I just feel like this is what it's talking about. Low-key, I might be wrong. But I loved it. I've read this book 3 times this year. It's one golden summer. I read it like 2 days ago, the last time again. We follow Alice, who's 32, almost 33, and she goes to this lake with her grandma where she was when she was 17 once, and she like took a picture of this boat with these teenagers in it and really, like, changed her life, because she was like, okay, I'm gonna become a photographer. And then and then she meets Charlie. Charlie is basically, I don't even know how to describe this book. It was so good. He's cocky, he's handsome, he's funny, like, she's funny, she's fucking handsome, she's gorgeous. I don't know. It's just basically this book is just two gorgeous people falling in love and building a real true friendship with each other before falling in love. Because what I loved about this book is how they build this friendship, this connection that you can just feel through the pages. And I feel like that was so much better than any, they take their time. It's dramatic at times. It's really funny at other times. This is just a fucking rom-com. You can read this in a day and you're gonna have a great time. It's just a lot of fun. Next book, very, very, very different direction, is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. This is a memoir of Chanel Miller, who went through, when was it? I think sometime around 2015, who suffered sexual assault and then went through a very public case. This was incredibly heavy, incredibly heartbreaking, incredibly well written. But of course, it was so heartbreaking. But for that reason, so important. The courage, the dedication it took to write this book, to sort of relive the experiences of that book. And I feel like books like these are so important, so incredibly important to read. Books where you just get the whole story, where someone has, especially in this case, where her story was told for her so many times, and it just feels so important that she got to tell her own story, and it's important for us to read it and to know it. And it talks a lot about the structures of the structures that victims are thrown into, and the ways that women specifically are being held accountable for sexual assault that they experience. But yeah, I'm so glad that I finally got to it. So if you ever have the chance to read it, pick it up, read it. And it's a story that for me will stay with me for the rest of my life. Not in the specifics, but in the things that I take from it, I guess. Next book. Okay, this is a long list. I did have a good reading year, to be fair. There were a lot of good books. Next book, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Leigh Bardugo, she's just a genius, at least for me. I know there's always people that don't like books. She cannot miss for me. She has books that I like more than others of hers, but this was so good. I reread this year. I read it in 2023 for the first time, and let me tell you, I could not remember a single thing. Every plot twist that came around, every plot event that happened in this book took me off guard, caught me off guard. I was so surprised by everything. I could not remember a single thing that had happened, even while I was reading it. And that was so much fun. And it's basically, we follow Alex, who's been through some shit. Our girl Alex has been through it. If you've read Six of Crows, you know Leigh Bardugo likes to really, really traumatize her characters. And yeah, Alex definitely, she went through it. And she comes to Yale, and there's all these secret societies, 8 secret societies specifically. And then there's this ninth society, which is called Leith, who sort of keep in check that the societies don't do anything too stupid, because they have a lot of power. They have magical, not powers, but they perform magical rituals. And Leith sort of checks that not too much shit is going on. And then there's a dead body of a girl, and we have Alex, who sort of, as the only one, really tries to get behind that story, what's happening. And it's so good. It's so good. It talks a lot about the power structures in place, specifically of universities and old institutions, and how you try to sort of make it better from within to sort of break these traditions and these power imbalances, but just the structures won't let you, and how there will never be serious consequences for certain people of a certain status and of power. And it's so good. It's so good. Just apart from all of these like really interesting discourses and discussions, it's also just like you have great characters, you have fucking like dark themes in here, like dark themes, and you also have this like mystery element of like trying to solve this murder. And it was so good. I read the second part immediately after this. The second part sort of is also on this list, but I can't say anything about it because it's a sequel. It was also really good. And the third part, sadly, is only coming out next September, I think. So I will have to wait, which hurts a lot, but I can't wait. This is so good. Now, the last book on my list, Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. Okay, I bought this in London when I went in June. I read it in London. This is a good book to read in London because it takes place in London. Read this book if you're ever in London. Read it anyways if you're never in London. Honestly, this was so good. I can't even. It was so good. Basically, we follow these two people who meet each other, fall in love, and then we follow their journey through this love. It says here on the back, at once an achingly beautiful love story and a potent insight into race and masculinity. And it really, really was. It was beautiful. This book, like, changed my view on masculinity, I would say. How it's perceived and how it's lived. It was so good. It was so good. Like, and the characters in here, the writing, I could not put it down. I feel like this is, again, one of those stories. I can't even remember all the specific details about it, but it like dug itself into my heart, and it's now stuck there forever. I feel like this is just incredible. It's so tender and soft while being also so brutal in a way and heartbreaking. And it just talks a lot about blackness, about masculinity, about love, about, I don't know, how people perceive you, how you perceive yourself, how external circumstances will affect your relationship and the way that you are able to love yourself and others. I don't know, it was so good. It was so good. My heart is actually heavy thinking about this book. Yeah, it actually is, but read it, please. Maybe you got some inspiration or recommendations out of this. Maybe you didn't. That's also fine. I hope you enjoyed listening to me ramble about all of these books that I loved in 2025. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.